Well, this is my first solo endeavor as a YouTuber. Anyways, this is my 2014 Toyota Tacoma TX Baja Edition. As you can tell, sport hood, sport mirrors. Typically that doesn't come on the TX Baja Edition packages, but I have since added those because I like them. It's my personal preference. But again, some people don't, some people do, but I like it, so I added them on there. As you can tell, there's a lot of mods done. Some would say tasteful, some would say they don't look that good, whatever. It's my truck, my opinion, I don't care. If you don't like it, well, womp womp. This has been my truck since 2021. I got it bone stock as a TX Baja Edition. Had upgraded Bilsteins on it. A little bit about the TX Baja package is it's basically like the precursor to the TRD Pro, I like to say. Has the upgraded suspension. It's got the upgraded TRD bead locks, which are really sought after. People love them. I love them too, and I would still have them if they didn't have zero offset, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Great overall. I mean, I would say they like to hold their value, but again, if you're not a Toyota nut, you don't know what the package is, it just seems like a regular off-road to you. But, you know, I know a little bit about it. Not trying to toot my own horn, but I know a little bit about Tacomas since I spent a lot of time looking for the right one. So this is and has been my project for the last 4 years. Before I even want to I don't claim that I did any of the work. I have done most of the work, but a huge help to me has been Best Off Road in Orem, Utah. Great people over there, Dana and Ranch over there. Awesome people to work with. They're the ones that have helped me get the truck to where it is today. Huge help with the tires, huge help with the wheels. All the suspension work you see on here has been done by them. They've all, we'll kind of get into the rear a little bit later, but I'm running full archive setup in the rear. I'm running Foxes up in the front with a brace kit as well too. They've done all that work and all that stuff. Great guys over there. Awesome team. Love to work with them. Yeah, hit them up. Tell them I sent you. I mean, they love helping out people. They work with Jeeps, but you know, they'll never turn out a Tacoma. I mean, here I am with my built-out Tacoma. So I guess we'll start since we're in the front end. We'll start with this. As I was talking a little bit before, we kind of have a little bit of tasteful mods, I'd say. We have the TRD Pro, TRD Pro, but Sport as well, hood. So I got the hood scoop. Color match as well in the 040 Super White, as well as with the Sport mirrors. And my personal, and been probably one of the best mods I've done so far, is an OEM TRD Pro grill. Now, you can get these for cheaper online. However, my personal preference, they kind of seem cheap. And they seem a lot more, I would say, cheaply made. So this one's an OEM one, and I love it. I love everything about it. It's so rugged. It's held up great. A thing you'll see with the aftermarket TRD Pro grills is that they'll fade and stuff, but this one hasn't faded at all because it's OEM. Big piece that I'm missing on the front end is my Desert Wolf retrofit headlights. Those should be on here in about a week or so. Been doing some changes to it, upgraded the halos, as well as updated the lens as well too. As soon as I get those back, I'm gonna get full PPF and everything, make sure they last a long time. Will over at Desert Wolf Retrofits, great guy, awesome to work with. Again, with retrofits, it's not a secret. Like, it's very custom. They're home built and everything. You'll have some issues with them and stuff like that, but all comes down to the company you work with. Will has been awesome with honoring stuff that's been under warranty and stuff that hasn't been under warranty. He's been a great dude to work with. I've met him personally a couple times, as well as my buddy Briley as well too. We've met him, great guy, awesome to work with, love everything he's doing. He's really changing up, and I wish we could do it on the 2.5 gen, but something I've learned is I want to keep it more simple, more OEM plus looking, is he's integrated the diode dynamics 4 bangers on the 4Runners, but again, my personal preference, doesn't feel like there's enough room in this housing to add that and make it look clean, in my opinion. So another thing about the truck, I run full diode dynamics lights. So I know it's kind of a bit of point of controversy for a lot of people, but The diode dynamic lights have been great. I've been running them since my truck previously, my blue Tacoma. And you can see diode here, diode there. So I got the diode SS3s, diode SE2s, diode SC2, the second version that just came out, as well as their all new 30-inch stage series bar, which has been updated. Love it. Great light bar. Awesome for the budget. And it's awesome. I love it. I'm so happy I finally have it. I mean, I kind of had this front bumper custom built to fit that upgraded diode bar in mind. Now that it's on the truck, it is awesome. It's probably one of my favorite pieces. It does have an RGB backlight. I currently run it on amber to match my whole front end. Love amber, big amber guy. Everything's amber, so those got amber backlights. These two pods have amber backlights, as well as the light bar has an amber backlight. Love it. Looks so good, so crisp and clean. I'll throw some photos up. But I also am running full diode stage series rock lights as well too. So I have one in each fender well, as well as two under the cab, and then one underneath the truck bed. Those are running white. They do come with red and amber covers, but again, I think the white looks a lot crisper, especially on a white truck with the chrome wheels. That's what I tend to lean towards. So I'll give you kind of a better shot of the front end, and outside an angle, we'll switch it up here. I'm just trying to work with the sun out here. Have the diodes right here. I did have these on amber, so they were, I guess, more of a yellowish color, but I have since switched them to be the clear housings, and honestly, I've fallen in love with it. If you can kind of tell, like, my whole front end is clear and black, and that's where the Desert Wolves will come in, because it won't be just chrome. I have on the TX Bajas, actually, you get the upgraded chrome and black housing. So I have those, my OEM ones, retrofit with a turbine shroud that I'll typically run in the amber backlight to match my pods and my light bar and all that stuff, with a really nifty thing called the Desert Vision. It's a tri-beam projector that lets you switch from pure white, yellow, and then a blend, which is my favorite, the yellow and white for maximum light output. The yellow is great, especially because now I'm not running any yellow on the front. It'll be super nice to kind of help with cutting through on dust and all that stuff. So I'm excited to have that back on there as well too. So now we'll kind of go towards the back a little bit and kind of address the elephant in the room, which I like to call my GFC V2 Pro. I got this earlier this year. I drove with my fiance at the time, and my wife, up to Montana to their headquarters, and I got it installed. Only thing I regret is the tent color, which looks awesome, but when you're camping and stuff, the sun hits it, it's like a light bulb. It just lights up everything. So sun's up, I'm up. But again, you're camping, so you should be up anyways, enjoying the outdoors. So I kind of wish I went with the white panels. It's a thing that I was kind of thinking about, if the case I were to ever sell it. It'd be a lot harder to sell a white GFC than a black one. But I've kind of gone back and forth on the idea of selling it. This current point, I'm going to keep it. But again, that's a theme that I've kind of gone through with my truck. I mean, right now it's sitting like this, but if you were to have looked at it let's say, beginning of this year, it would have been completely different. I've gone through so many different iterations, so many different setups and stuff like that. But again, the GFC all around, so good for what it is. American made, awesome product. Team at GFC is great. I love how you can lock every single door. I opted for no windows, personal preference. I can just, I don't want people to see me in there if I'm getting dressed and stuff, and I don't have to worry about blocking a window and all that stuff. So I opted for no windows. In my opinion, it's a camper. I mean, I don't really spend much of the time inside sitting in it in the bottom. I'm usually up in the top of the tent because it's more comfortable up there. But again, that's just my opinion. I kind of glossed over the fact on the front, but I do have a custom built bumper. Long story, but custom built bumper. It looks great. It's awesome. I took design aspects from different bumpers that I liked. It is a cross member delete, So it's super high clearance in the front. It does have a space for the winch that I, probably will never put up there, but I have it just in case I ever were to kind of like step up how hard I wheel and stuff like that, which I don't really ever see myself doing that. Because again, I mostly got the truck for camping and then bombing it in the desert. Like where I'm located here in Utah, I'm about 30 minutes from 5 Mile, which is an awesome spot where you can kind of get a mixture of kind of a little bit more rocky, but high desert or high speed desert stuff. So I'll leave it at that. But I like, people make fun of you for not wheeling your truck and all that stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is my daily driver. So I mean, like I don't have a ton of money. I don't have a ton of vehicles at my dispense. So I try to keep it in good shape and try to keep it so I can drive it home every day and stuff like that whenever I go do stuff. So to go with the front bumper, I do have the same kind of custom built rear bumper. Again, design aspects from other companies that make bumpers, but again, customized towards more what I want. Buddy of mine, Four Low Bros, shout out Christian, good guy. Me and him are rocking the same exact bumper, except there's a difference between our tubes in the rear. Mine has more of a high angle, so it doesn't drag on rocks and stuff like that. But again, they're very similar. You can barely tell unless we pointed out the difference. Let's see. Again, I'm just running body armor 4x4 sliders. I mean, it's a slider. It just needs to hold up to hitting rocks and stuff like that. I mean, ultimately, I don't think I've really ever hit them. If anything, I've hit my transmission pan more than my sliders. But again, I have them for the peace of mind of if I were to ever hit a rock or get a rock stuck underneath me, that I'm not going to take any body damage and stuff like that. So, kind of talked about it previously, but running full archive in the rear. I'm running the archive hammer hangers, archive relocate, archive cross support tube as well too, and then the archive flip kit. So full archive in the rear. It's paired with the Fox factory race series 2.5s in the rear. I'm running a 14-inch shock. I am running into a little bit of rubbing issues on the actual shock itself with the tires. I'm right now currently running a, I'm running a 35, 12.5, 17 on a Stealth Customs -38 Gen 5 and polished, as well as 1.25" wheel spacers on all four corners. It has helped with clearing the tire on the rear shock. The only thing it hasn't helped with is now I rub in the front. Honestly, I just need to spend some time to actually kind of clear it more, but I'm lazy, so I don't want to do it. Other than that, like that's pretty much it. I am running 5%, and then 35 on the windshield. It's dark, but it's ceramic, so it's not that bad. I love it. Looks great, especially for photos and like rollers and stuff. You can't see me, cheesing in the driver's seat, so I like it. If I were to change it up, I may go a little lighter on the front, but again, it's hard to beat kind of that like blacked out look, and it looks great in my opinion. So quickly, a new addition that I've actually added is the GFC ladder kit. I never had it before. Kind of what I was doing was just crawling up into the tent from the bed, which is something awesome that you can do with the GFC. And in this point in day and age, like you're honestly, if you know off-roading and you know the Tacoma market and all that stuff, you know that the GFC is kind of the top of the top when it comes to campers and such. I spent about, I think, $8.5, and that was before their price change and all that stuff. And I love it. People will tell you, no, go with something else, yada, yada, yada. Every camper has its downfalls. Again, I kind of gave you my complaints of the tent color. I wish I went with the darker color, as well as I kind of wish that I went with white to have an all white vehicle. Whatever, those are like minor complaints. I love it. It's great. The one thing that a major complaint that I have is the anodizing seems to have been failing on a lot of the brackets and stuff. I mean, I know anodizing a little bit from my day job, and I do know that you can put like protective coating so that it doesn't change colors and the sun doesn't fade it. Again, that's something that I'll just have to deal with for now. Kind of open it up a little bit here. Quickly before I do that, actually, I do have the Wolf box rear camera because, you know, no window, so you can't really see through. It stopped working, so I need to figure that out. Kind of see my sticker wall here. Me and the wife recently got married in September of this year. We took for our honeymoon, we basically did a road trip out to, I say the PNW, but Northern California and Oregon, and kind of visited stuff out there. So a lot of the stickers on there are from that. I had a blast. I think she had a blast too as well. We didn't camp in the camper. We stayed in Airbnbs, but you know, I wish we could have stayed one night in the GC, but it is what it is. This is a lot less comfortable than an Airbnb is for obvious reasons, but it's still pretty comfortable. Talk about my license plate here. So the bracket, if you notice on the bumper, I have no spots for my license plate. So I have used a Torx Jeep license plate bracket and kind of modified it to work for me, as well as shout out to my buddy Tanner, Red Flag Robotics license plate light. So I ran it for years without a light on my license plate. Never had an issue. Knock on wood. I don't know. But again, better safe than sorry. I'd want to be as legal as possible. This truck does stick out like a sore thumb. So the less attention I have on me, the better I feel in the end of the day. Other than that, like the red TRD badge, this comes, I don't know if it's every TX Baja, but I know mine came with it. I've seen others with black ones. But mine came with a red one. I really love it. It really kind of just adds a little more spice to the rear end of a white truck. But I like it. Looks good. I had it off for a while, but I put it back on. It's staying there. It's not going anywhere. I'm now running the OEM clears. Shout out to Josh. I'll give these back to you once I swap my other ones on. But the idea with this is to get chrome reflectors and basically black and chrome out this whole housing to match the headlights. I think it'll look good. You may not. I don't care. The GFC does have built-in lighting, so it's got light here, light there, light in basically every corner of the camper, as well as inside the tent itself. It's awesome for camping and stuff. It casts enough light where if I'm cooking on my Blackstone and stuff like that out here, that's casting enough light, and I don't have to like wear a headlamp and stuff like that. It's awesome. 3 different color modes. You can do white, red, and then a white-red mixture. It's great. It's really easy on the eyes, especially red. And I know red's supposed to be like a bug deterrent. I don't know how true that is because bugs still eat me, but maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I have no idea. As far as bed modifications, bed stiffeners are a must, especially when you put a camper or any sort of weight on this bed. This bed is made literally out of tinfoil, it seems like. Oftentimes you'll see the issues with Tacomas is the beds will start to bow outwards. The GFC is not that heavy. And I say 275, like that's not that heavy, but it's 275 pounds of just weight on the rear end. So I wanted to prevent, like I don't want my bed to fall apart, so got those there. It's awesome actually because you can use it to, if you notice there's all these holes and stuff that you can put ratchet straps, bungee cords and all that stuff so you can secure your stuff and everything. It's awesome. I love it. We'll pop the tent up real quick. Kind of unlock it here. I know I have the ladder here, but it's easier to do it from back here. What the heck is this? And there's that wonderful tangerine tent color. So, as you can tell, it's bright yellow. The sun hits it, it's like a light bulb in there. So actually, this is my first time ever using the ladder, but essentially just like that. So it does kind of suck a little bit because GFC doesn't give you the tent poles as a added option. It's an upgrade. I mean, I get it. Makes sense, but that's just the thing that kind of bums me out a little bit, but whatever. You learn to deal with it. So I'll just pop in here real quick. The GFC V2 Pro. I've slept in here with multiple, whoa. I've had my wife in here multiple times. We can sleep comfortably in here. Say if you add a third person, you can do it. It's a little bit uncomfortable because you're kind of limited for space on the width as well as the length. I'm not tall. I'm like 5'10". I sleep in here pretty comfortably. If you were like 6 foot, I could see maybe it's a little uncomfortable, but honestly, not that bad. Kind of the things that, again, it's a tent. I paid for it. Again, might be a deal breaker for everybody, but since the V2 Pro came out, they have one of the major things they had was the headliner upgrade. So I do have that. It's where all my patches are, as well as the different material, different ways that they do the tent doors and all that stuff. Tent doors aren't included. Tent poles aren't included. The mounting and all that stuff's not included. So if I were to have gotten this just basically the base model tent, I wouldn't have the side doors, I wouldn't have tent poles, I wouldn't have the ability to kind of open it up and kind of air it out and more stuff like that. But again, I don't know. I was able to get it, luckily for a deal and stuff like that. So I have it. Again, I love it. Anything I would change, definitely the tent material. I changed it for the darker color, as well as the side doors I would switch to be the powder coated white. If for some reason the powder coat ever started to fail on the side doors, I would definitely go with a gloss white. I think it'd look sick, and I think it really matched the overall truck a lot better. But I mean, you can kind of tell like my truck has a very strong two-tone theme with the black, white, and then I've got the polish in there. The tent mattress, super thick and comfortable. Again, the floor is modular, so you can kind of you can literally stand up in here with these moved all over there, and have like chairs set up in here. I do run a diesel heater. I don't usually run it till probably it starts snowing. I personally run very hot, and I don't like feeling hot when I'm sleeping, so I have it just in case, specifically for my wife if she comes camping and stuff like that. Make sure she's comfortable, or else she won't go camping with me again. The other things, like I kind of put down a sleeping bag to kind of, this material is like, it's not bad, it's just not the most comfortable when you're sleeping on. So I kind of put like a sleeping bag underneath to kind of give it more cushion and kind of keep the heat more and stuff like that. Big complaint as well too, I wish there was like a port for a diesel vent to put diesel in here. There is not, unfortunately, and I wish there was. And that's kind of a thing you're seeing more and more with tents and stuff like that now, is that they have built-in diesel heater ports, which is awesome. I wish they would integrate it. Again, they may not, but I wish they would. Let's see. Other than that, up here, again, yeah, patches are all up here. I have a pretty cool patch collection up here. Big thing. Yeah, I'm happy with my purchase. I love the GFC. I really like how secure it is. And like if I want to sleep somewhere where I don't feel super safe and stuff, I can fully lock up the tent. Yes, it's not going to prevent somebody from getting into the tent, but it'll definitely make it a lot harder, and I should be able to hear them and be able to defend myself if that were to ever happen. So we'll quickly kind of just, open up everything, kind of show you what I usually carry in the bed. And this is right here what I love, is that open kind of feel. It's hard to get this with other campers and tents. A big complaint that I see a lot of people is these bars being in the way and all stuff. I've never had an issue with them. Usually when I'm dragging stuff out of the bed, I don't really want to go through the side in case I like drop anything that I'm carrying and like, you know, hit the side of the bed there. So I typically just carry it out from the back side of the bed. Kind of have my bed set up here. A lot of the stuff that I carry, big shout out to my boy Josh over at Edge Venture Off-Road. Running his 4-way air up, air down kit. It is so nice to just plug it all in, let it air down. It's all equal, it's all equalized. Go off-roading, go wheeling, go, I don't know, mop some dirt roads and stuff like that, and then just get back to the truck. I forgot to show it on the front end, but it works awesome with my ARB dual air compressor because this just hooks right into it, displays exactly the PSI that I'm airing up to, and that is awesome. He sells these things. He's had them for a while. A lot of my buddies run it. It's awesome. Again, it's a very saturated market. Everyone has their own version. Everyone says, oh, mine's better, mine's this. It's an air hose. Doesn't need to be super complicated. So that's what I run. In the tan container here is where this hose would usually be, but a common theme is I don't put things away when I'm done. I'll just leave it in the truck bed. So get in the bed real quick, drag this over here, and I'll show you what's in the mystery box. So in this Amazon bin, we have my 1.5 ton Badlands jack. Got this from Harbor Freight. I think it was like $279. I also have my, well, I shared this with a buddy, but our Factor 55 soft shackles, as well as my polished aluminum Factor 55 hitch link. Stuff is great. Again, I don't ever really do stuff where recovering is kind of a necessity. Funny story actually is the last couple years we made it a tradition in our family to kind of go Christmas tree cutting and all that stuff, and I think the most I've used this recovery stuff has been on my mom and her 4Runner when she gets stuck on the ice road. So we didn't go this year because she didn't want to get stuck again. She felt embarrassed, but again, it's kind of scary when it happens, so it's a little, you know, I truly understand. So in my pack out bin here, we'll kind of go from the side, drag it out. Actually don't remember. Oh yeah, I remember what's in here. It's my half custody Factor 55 kinetic rope. So if you look in here, kinetic rope, it's been used. Funny enough, that's been used more times to tow regular cars and stuff like that than actually off-road things. So overall, pretty simple bed setup. There's nothing crazy back here. I thought about running, or thought about building like a cabinet system and all that stuff and be true overland and all that stuff, but I built a hoist system in my garage to kind of lift the GFC off the truck so I don't have to run it 24/7. They say gas mileage on these things isn't that bad. If you're worried about gas mileage, don't get a Tacoma, don't do 35s, just don't get a truck. This thing gets about 15, and I am tuned, I am re-geared, and that's with the camper on it. With the camper off, I do get a lot better gas mileage, but it's not that much better. quick thing I kind of glossed over is I have made my own modification. I have added my ARB air nozzle or air chuck here. You can kind of see it poking through there, but stainless steel hose just goes right up and runs underneath here, so I can kind of put my air hose kit right there. So I don't have to fiddle with it on the ground. It's just directly there, and I can literally just stand right here, look at the screen, and watch it air up and kind of sit in the truck and just wait for it to air up all the way. As far as, well, we're up here, might as well. It's rusty. It's not spotless. It's definitely used. I have my Dirt King lowers. I got these for a wicked good deal, so I couldn't pass them up. I do have the cam tab gussets as well. Right there, you can kind of see cam tab gussets. I do have the spindle gussets as well. Kind of just beefed up the whole front end, make sure everything's okay. And then the Fox 2.5 DSC's Performance Elite Series. They do have the dual speed compression. Mainly why I went with Fox over King is because King only has one-way compression adjustment, whereas Fox has two. People will tell you their own opinions. Again, do your own research, do your own, get what you want. In the end of the day, it's your money you're spending, not theirs, so keep that in mind. Front end simple, nothing too crazy. I'm planning to keep it just like this for the foreseeable future. I have upgraded to what's it called, Stop Tech, or is it Stop Tech? I think it's Stop Tech. It might be wrong. I have upgraded to drilled and slotted rotors for cooling with these trucks, and especially pushing all the weight that I am. I do see a significant decrease in my braking power, so whatever I can do to help keep my brakes cool and not from not stopping, basically, I try to. Eventually, I would like to get an upgraded front brake kit. Again, I'm not made out of money, so I'm holding off on that. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, yeah, kind of take a look there. The suspension in the rear. You can see the marks where my tires rub onto the shock. As I said, like, it's a lot less worse now that I have the spacers, which, I wouldn't say less is best, but that's it. Interior stuff, I'm gonna hold off for now. I would like to make a different video on it. Again, I probably missed a lot of stuff. But again, stuff will change, stuff will go. Who knows, maybe next week I'll sell the GFC, I don't know. But we'll kind of go over everything if there's major changes. I would like to continue to post on YouTube. I don't want to just be a one and done, like, oh, where did he go, yada yada. I'd like to post more videos. Again, me and my buddies go out camping a lot. We screw around, we go explore, we do cool things. Like, I want to kind of become more of a camping influencer. Just kidding. Kind of want to just, share my truck, all the work that I've put into it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks sick. But yeah, we'll hopefully get this video edited and out. But again, you may see me on my socials. I used to be 86 Taco. I've kind of just rebranded and went just to my name. So Jose Dungan _ on Instagram. J Dungan, or I think it's that. I don't know. I'll post all that stuff eventually. I'll just put it in a hyperlink on my YouTube, whatever. But yeah, check out my Instagram. I've worked with a lot of people. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment. Like, I'm never gonna just ignore you. That's the thing I don't understand what a lot of people do, is they kind of grow egos and stuff and just act like they're better than anybody else. I'm just a regular dude, man. I like my truck. I like posting pictures of my truck. I like making cool little edits of my truck. I like using my truck. Lord forbid a man likes to use his truck. But yeah, there it is.